Lawn irrigation or lawn sprinkler system for residential applications for the lawn landscaping, etc. When installing a system or working on a system or simply tweaking a system, one may come across a valve that appears something like this. Some of them may be square, some of them may be round, but generally speaking, the entrance here will be on one side will be 1 inch. Now keep in mind some of them are gluable. Simply, this is a gluable one. Personally, I like the gluable better, but there are the ones that have the female thread, so you can screw a female thread in it with Teflon tape and then add the glue the fitting the 1 inch PVC pipe into the valve, and this would be the entrance side, this would be the exit side. They both look the same, they're both 1 inch. So that's neither here nor there. One would have to determine which particular valve they desire to use. But in wiring, there's a solenoid on top. What happens is the control box feeds the solenoid. Once the control box feeds the solenoid, it feeds it something around, say, 24 volts or plus or minus thereabouts. And what happens when this solenoid becomes energized, one can actually touch it with their hand and maybe feel a little buzzing noise. But when the control box sends a signal when it calls for time, do keep in mind that lawn sprinkler system irrigation control box are done off of time, not actually house heating and air conditioning system work somewhat similar, but they work off of temperature, off of a thermistor. So do keep in mind, most of the irrigation control boxes are based upon time, X amount of time. So, and one has the valve, then the entrance, the here, the solenoid here, and two wires off the solenoid. Question being here, what are the two wires for? One has one wire here, and then one has another wire here. Simply, if we take the irrigation wire and we look at the irrigation wire, this is several wires, stranded wires in one bundle here. So if we take this particular wire here and we look at the different colors and we try to decipher what color goes where, forget all this. This is overly complicated. Let's just keep it very simple here. We have the white wire, and the white wire is considered our common wire. So for one of these off of this, we would connect this onto the common wire. So that would be the common. Now the question may beg the question, which wire here, which wire on this solenoid does the common have to be connected? My opinion is I don't think it makes any difference. It doesn't make any difference if you hook the common here or here, as long as you have a common and a hot. So the white wire, generally speaking, would be your common wire for your sprinkler here. Okay, now we have these other colored wires. So these would be your hot wires. So you would take one of these wires, you have one with the hot, one with the common, and take the other one, whichever you choose, and connect it to the other one. So, and I don't think it really matters if you get them in reverse order, but you do have to have a common and you do have to have a hot. So all these would be hots. So these would be in the box. Now, personally, I like a sprinkler system that looks good. Zone 1 out by the street starts up. Zone 2, the next cycle. I don't like it when it starts in zone 1. Zone 1 comes on, the backyard comes on, and it looks like it's very haphazard and disorganized. I like a system that looks, also functions, waters the yard properly, but also has an aesthetic appeal when the sprinkler system comes on. So that's just a personal opinion. Now, the ultimate goal is to put water on the yard. However, one can put water on the yard and have a system, one zone come on, another zone in a weird configuration, and it just looks a little strange. But getting back to the point at hand, we have two wires on the solenoid. One's the common, one's the hot. Generally speaking, the common wire would need to be connected to one of these, either one of these. Take which one, hot is which one. I do the RGB for the color code, kind of. That's just the mnemonics. I go red, green, blue. So I start out, if this was on one, I would start out with a white and then a red. And so a white here and a red here. The next zone would be white and green. The next zone would be white and blue. So I just keep it in those color codes, but it's not, that doesn't really matter. But your white is your common, the rest of these are your hots, and so you do need to have these connected in the box, and you do need to have your common connected in the box. But so you just add the common wire, which is a white wire, and one hot wire here, which is any one of other these wires aside from the white wire. So common white, hot, whatever color you choose in the box, that's up to you, but it doesn't really matter, but just however it does. So it just works, and then once you have a common, a white, and then a hot wire, which is another color. And it's that simple to hook up an irrigation valve. And this is the solenoid on the sprinkler system valve. When the solenoid activates, it actually will open the valve and allow the water to go from point A to point B. Sprinkler, once the time expires on the clock, this stops. Once this stops, the water stops here. Thank you for watching. Hope this helps, and hope it simplifies and demystifies something that seems overly complicated, but yet it's very simple. So thank you for watching. If you find any of these videos helpful, useful, and beneficial, please like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.